Morning everybody, it's a bit of an early start, but anyway, it's not too bad because it's not too cold. It is 6 degrees, so it's quite bearable. It wouldn't be quite the same if it was -10 and snowing. So yes, what I'm doing is I'm heading over to Peter's yard to load up a lorry. I don't know if it's there yet, but it's not due until 6 o'clock, so yes, I'm heading there for 6. I've put this bucket on here, got it prepared yesterday, because it's a much larger capacity bucket than the other one which Peter has, so it should make loading up the lorry much faster. It is already going to be a fairly slow job because it's only a tractor's bucket. I would prefer to do it with a telehandler, but he doesn't have one here, so I'm just going to have to make do with what we've got, but I'm just so pleased I do have this bucket because it's just going to be so much better than the one which is about half the size. Okay, so before I go, let me just sort out the security. It turns the light off here. It would be good, actually no, it would be good for security. That cost a bit in electricity, but there is a camera pointing exactly where that's lit up, so it would be a good idea to keep it illuminated. I shut the gate instead. There we go. Right. Okay. So yeah, I have to be there by 6. I might be there just before. The roads do seem to be fairly quiet at this time, which is nice. It should all be fairly lit up in the village anyway, because of all the street lights. There are still some cars. It must be all the people who are going to work early. Or maybe people finishing a night shift. Possibly. Okay, so yeah, I'm turning right here. Whoa. What's that down there? It's a little brush cutter for sale. £1,000. Well, I can't be here now because I need to crack on. The driver is waiting for me, but that's very tempting. That wasn't there yesterday. And they've left their brush cutter out all night on a roadside. They are very brave people, I've got to say. So anyway, yes, I'm quite tempted by that. £1,000 for a brush cutter. Maybe it doesn't work. I don't know. I am tempted. I think, although I wasn't looking for a brush cutter at all, I had no intention of buying one, because it is right there, so local, it could be quite useful. I could maybe expand a bit. Maybe a bit of a sideline could be lawn care, although yeah, you wouldn't really want to do much mowing with a brush cutter if it was a nice formal lawn. Don't know. Anyway, the lorry is here, so let me get things set up. Get this opened, put some lights on, and also the inside lights would be good. So really light things up a bit. Okay, so it is the oilseed rape which is going today. The cover is off, I think. Yes, it is. Right. Okay, so it's the driver. I think the driver's resting. Nice lorry. Very nice. Yep, so I'll jump into the JCB and we can start loading it up. So I've not actually done this before with this tractor, but I'm hoping it is tall enough. You know, I hope it does have enough reach, as it isn't like a telehandler. It can't extend or anything, obviously. So I'm just going to have to try my best and hope that it is tall enough. It does seem to be a very good reach, actually. It would be a bit better if the cover was on the other side, but I'm sure I can still reach over. Just creep forward a little bit. Okay, that's good. It's going in. So I think what I'll do is I'll put the drone up, not too high, and I will just show this whole process from an above view. Because it is going to take a while. It's going to probably take 20 bucket loads, even with this much larger bucket. I do have to get on with it, because the lorry driver will be wanting to get on. And possibly the final bucket load here. Get it all nicely cleared up. Good. Okay, so that's going to leave the wheat separated now, which is good. It can just spread across the back if it needs to, or I can park some other implements in this area, which is probably a better idea. So yes, now the driver can get on his way. And I can head back and see the brush cutter, which I'm intrigued to see. Okay, all done. Nicely cleared. And it's ready to go. So yeah, it took 2.5 hours. It is a very slow way of doing it. It would have been much better with a telehandler, but it's done. And Peter is now going to make a fairly decent amount of money. Right, well, that's all good. Apparently there was about 28,000 litres in there, so that's not a bad amount of grain at all. I'm sure Peter will be very pleased. So that's now going off to be sold wherever, not too sure exactly where. Yeah, it should help Peter out quite a bit. What I need to do before I go is just clear things up a bit. We'll switch those outdoor lights off and also the inside shed lights. And there we go. And I think this can now be closed up. I will be putting some implements in here at some point. I'm sure Peter will be wanting me to tidy it up as well. But first, breakfast. Definitely breakfast. Just close these doors. Okay, good. Actually no, let's say brush cutter then breakfast. That sounds better. Although I am very hungry. And could do with some coffee. Now I would usually be quite tempted to haggle a bit, but I think £1,000 sounds very fair for this brush cutter, unless, like I say, maybe it's thrown a conrod or something, in which case it's, well, I suppose still worth the money. You could repair the engine or get a replacement engine, but yeah, it's still a fairly good price. It actually looks really good cosmetically. Let's see if I can park in here. There's some off the road. They're probably thinking, why is a tractor turning up in our garden? I suppose it is more of a yard, actually. It's a small farm, isn't it? It is a small farm. Well, that's good. I'm sure they won't object. So here is a close-up view. It's got the Chevron tread tyres. I'm still impressed with the price. It's a Grillo Climber 10. Looks like a Kawasaki engine. Very nice indeed. Very nice if it works. Well, I better go and speak to somebody. How do you enter this establishment? Just jump the gate. There we go. Right. Hello. Can I help you with something? Please, yeah. I am very interested in your brush cutter out here. I was just wondering if it's all working, all fully working, because I'm very tempted to buy it. Yes, it's all fully working. You're quite welcome to go and have a go with it. That would be really great, thanks. Okay, so let's just give it a go. Let's jump on. Okay, so nice easy layout. Let's start the engine. Well, that works. That works very well. Drive. Let's see if it moves backwards. Or is that sign leaning up against it? I think it might be. Mustn't go back too far. Well, it's shunting. It is shunting. It could move, but the sign is going to fall over. Blades. Yep, that seems pretty good. No, I think that is actually definitely worth a buy. I'd be very happy to go and buy that. It does seem to be fully functioning. How many hours? How many hours did it say? It's got 14 hours. Only 14. Seems ridiculously low. Right, well I will go and speak to this man again. How was it for you? Was it any good? It was actually, yeah. I'm very impressed by it, and I'm quite impressed by your price as well. So yeah, I would love to buy it. Great. Do you have any way of picking it up? I can get a trailer, unless I can put it in the bucket of my tractor. Well, if you give me the money first, you can do what you want. Of course, there we go. £1,000 handed over. Of course, that wasn't cash as such. It wasn't physical money. I did it electronically through my phone. Because, yes, I don't walk around with £1,000 on me. So that is now mine. The issue is, how do we get it home? I am thinking borrowing... I think the best thing would be to, you know, borrow Peter's trailer, but... is there any chance I could put it in the bucket? That is a ridiculous thing to even suggest, but... I guess it could work if it fits. I know there is next to no chance of it working, but it would just save messing around with trailers. I'll tell you what I'll do is I will just go and put it close to it and see roughly if it is a similar size. But I am really not expecting this to work, because it would be ridiculous. Thing is though, if I'm going to do this for people, if I'm going to go and mow grass and rough pasture land, I will need a trailer. So, yeah, anyway, is that... actually, that is surprisingly close. I think it is just a little bit too big, the mower. But there is potential for that to work. No, that's just not going to work. So what I'm going to do is the sensible thing and go and grab a trailer. Now, the good thing is, Peter has already told me that I can help myself to any of his machines which are in his yard, which I know are his. Obviously, if it's some random machine that's just appeared, then I should always ask for permission first. But yes, there should be no issues with using the trailer. So, I think it's actually down the side of the shed I've just been unloading the grain from. I think. But I will have to take a look. So I'm fairly sure that I put the livestock trailer in front of his house. Yes, I did. And the trailer is down there. Good, okay, so let's just get this down the side and I can hopefully load the brush cutter onto it. I call it a brush cutter. It's like a ride-on brush cutter. It is essentially a ride-on mower. Do these have ramps? Ah, oh, they do. They do. Look at that. Brilliant. A perfect trailer. But I know it's Peter's and I know that he doesn't want to sell it, so I'm going to have to try and find another one. That is, of course, if I'm going to actually transport it around the place. Mowing brush land for people. Now, as you'll know, I'm sort of planning on selling half of my land to Peter. Not that he knows that. Not yet, anyway. But if I can get him to agree to that, then what I'm going to do is put a sheep pasture where the static caravan is, which, by the way, I have sold. It's still there, but I've already got a buyer, probably because I priced it so cheaply. £2,500 I put on it, super cheap. But yeah, where that is, I can put, you know, just a water trough and a feed trough, and then I can just have some open grassland with sheep. That is my plan. So it all comes down to if Peter will buy the piece of ploughed land just below. Obviously I'm keeping the yard, but Peter, I'm hoping, would take the lower half of the field. Right, so I'll just put the ramps out. There we go. And I think I should probably pick up this sign and put it somewhere. Where shall I put it? Just over the wall. I shouldn't have done that, but I couldn't resist. He's going to have some people knocking on his door asking if they'll do a deal on his car. He will be confused. Anyway, I'll look at Dennis actually, because Dennis is a big fan of those Suzukis. Especially as he has recently parted with it. I'm sure he will regret that decision. Right. Okay. There we go. It's on. And, well, I don't think it's going to fall off. I'm not going too far with it. I should strap it, but yes. It'll be fine. Well, it's not what I was expecting to buy today, but I'm quite impressed by it. It does seem to be a very nice little machine. And I did spend my personal money there. It wasn't the farm's money. So I do own this machine myself. I'm very tempted to give it a go, but I just don't know whether or not I should start some kind of small lawn care business. If I am going to, though, I really need to have some more money set aside, and I need to have a bit of a business plan so that it doesn't fail. I do need to actually make some money. I just can't decide whether or not it's actually worth doing. And is just a brush cutter enough? I don't know. I might have to expand the fleet. Well, there isn't really much grass around here to cut, but I might as well just give it a go. Make sure it really is fully working. Right, here we go. This is my lawn, my newly acquired lawn, and as you can see it's already been cut, so it doesn't really have much of an impact on it. I should really go and find some longer grass. I do like this lawn though, it is very nice, and I do like that there is a climbing frame and a slide. I've just always wanted one. As you can see, it's pretty fun, except my head doesn't fit through here. Okay, so I've just gone around the back of the shed here where the grass isn't very important, and I can now give it a bit of a better test, so we'll see what it's actually like in some much longer grass. Okay, here goes. It's actually really effective. And you can go quite fast with it too. I like it. I think it's a good machine. Well, I think the best thing to do for now is just to put it away. But I think it has a future. I really do. And this is a lovely mower-sized shed. There's even space in this farm to store quite a few mowers. So, yep, I think it was a pretty good buy. Anyway, back to the farming side of things. I do have to do a few things over here, like give the cows some water. I'm thinking about installing an automatic water pump, so that I don't have to keep tankering the water over to the cows. I think that would be a very good idea. And also, well, they're going to have some straw. Unfortunately, there's no kind of automatic straw feeding device. I'm just going to have to keep giving it to them. And then, yeah, I think really I should go to Peter, ask him if he wants to buy the land. Hopefully he says yes, but I can't really hold out too much hope. And of course, I'm going to have to return that to Peter as well. So yeah, first of all, what I'll do is I'll just give them some straw, and then I think that actually there might already be a tap installed in the field over there, but it's just not properly plumbed in. I think it might just be missing a fitting, so it shouldn't be too difficult. I think probably just one bucket load of straw will be plenty, especially as they already do have some in there. And there we go. So it is just a case now of sorting out the water, which shouldn't be too tricky. Okay, so I'm over here, and like I told you, there was already a valve, but I need to put this pipe in a good position, so I think probably where it is, and then I'll spin it around. That would be a good idea. Should be good just there. And now all I have to do is turn the valve on, and it's going to fill up on its own pretty much. So that is much, much better than having to tanker it around. I don't know what we're going to do with the tanker. I think it'll probably be staying over at Peter's other farm. Because all I have to do now is just keep switching the tap on when it needs to be switched on. Otherwise it's going to be a nice flood. So yeah, I'll keep that going for a little bit. I do have loads of cows, so yeah, I do need to have a lot of water in the trough. But they're really happy. These cows are doing quite well. I think that'll pretty much do it. Okay, right, well, there we go. The cows are all watered, and I have also given them loads of straw. So they've also got a lot of feed still. I will be doing another feed mix very soon, so I do need to sort out a feed mixer, because there isn't one here. It's been taken away. The last thing I need to do before I head off is to close this gate and close the barn. Still got loads of straw in there. And finally, I'll just attach the trailer and get it returned to Peter. And here I am, ready to put it back into its place next to the other trailer. Next to the Flegel. There we go. Good, yeah, it's been very handy. Last stop, Peter's. just over here. Can I help, Daggerwin? I shouldn't really ask, but I was just wondering if you wanted to buy the lower half of the field which I own, the ploughed area. Sorry, Daggerwin, I don't. Oh. Okay, well, that's fine. I'll see if anybody else wants to buy it. Are you struggling for money again? Well, I just want to get rid of this loan. And I'd love to start a lawn care business. Great idea! Should Daggerwin start a lawn care business? You decide.